Hey guys, Brittany here. It's Memorial Day. It is the day after my 6.5 week hive inspection, which I was editing this morning and posted. And as I was editing it and watching the footage, which is why I recommend whether you're going to post your videos or not, I think it's really, really beneficial to video your hive inspections because you can review them later and see things that you didn't see in the moment or really didn't fully think through in the moment. As I was editing it, I thought more about the two uh, queen cells that I saw and did a little more research, made a post on bee site and asked a friend, and came to the conclusion that my 6.5 week hive that was started 6.5 weeks ago from package bees is about to swarm on me. So I have two queen cells in there. One is capped, which apparently means like they could really swarm at any minute. The only reason that I'm not entirely freaking out right now is I did see my queen last night. Well, yesterday afternoon when I did my inspection. I guess she could be gone now, but there were a lot of bees. I got in there earlier today and looked at the cell closer. There are a ton of bees in there. I don't think that they've swarmed on me yet. So, all that said, a really long intro to say I'm getting back in there today and I'm doing a walkaway split to try to prevent them from swarming. And I've been wanting a second hive anyway. I've been trying to catch a swarm and have not done so successfully. So they could still swarm on me. There's always a chance that the queen they raise won't make it back from mating. There are all kinds of things that could happen, but I'm going to do a walkaway split for now. Hope it prevents swarming and gives me two hives, and I'm just going to keep a really close eye on them with the future inspections and just roll with the punches. But it is later in the day than I usually work with them, and we do have rain and storms coming tonight, so I definitely want to get this done soon before they decide to swarm. And let's get into it. Okay, so I already had equipment for a whole second hive. I don't have enough frames. I only have enough frames for two deeps, which I just put this second deep on this, but now I'm realizing instead of putting on a second deep, I should have done a split. But I also wasn't prepared for that yesterday when I did my inspection. So I guess really what I did was what I needed to do in the moment. What I'm gonna do, I've got three deeps here because I still have my feed, I'm still feeding them. I take this off. I have tool. Now I think what I'm going to do is I think that I'm going to use this follower board to only have 5 frames or so be the hive over here, which is where I'm going to move my queen and have my queen cells over here to start raising a new queen in my uh, original, my mother hive. I feel like I need to really hurry because it's getting breezy. But then I'm going to put frames over here, so if they go over here and build stuff, you know, it'll be with frames and not wonky, but this will hopefully help them to keep the brood warmer. In my mind, that makes sense. Okay. Need to move quickly, but not go so quickly that I mess up. Okay. Here I am with the okay again. Gosh, in my hive inspection yesterday, I mentioned how I realized during editing that I say okay far too much. I don't know. Okay, here I go again. Okay, I'm doing it again. Stop it. I'm going to sit this on this empty box over here. I have to find my queen. Do I have a clip in here? I should have a clip in here. I do. Put that there. All right, so she was around here. Let's see, should I just start taking them out? I'm sorry if this is a little all over the place. I do feel a little all over the place because this wasn't really planned, but you know, bees be bees, and we got to roll with the punches, right? Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this over here. Now I do have, I'm gonna be putting them right next to this one, but my understanding, by the way, not a professional here. I am a new beekeeper this year, but I've done a lot of research, watched a lot of videos, took some classes, and my understanding is that what happens is the reason you can do a walkaway split right next to your original hive is because the nurse bees have not taken their orientation flight yet. So they will be put in to the new hive and will not be oriented to this old hive. So when they take their orientation flight, they will orient to this new one. Okay. Bees may not really love me doing this because I was just in here 24 hours ago, but we got to do what we got to do. Now, what I do want to do is find my queen. Maybe I should have started on that side. I want to scooch these over because she was on one of these frames over here yesterday. So that's where I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to just take this one out and start that way. That's what I'm going to do because that makes more sense. Okay, I feel like this, let me see if she's on here. She's not going to be on here. This is resources. Again, I'm not a professional, but this feels like a good resource frame to give them. And these worker bees that have already taken their orienting flight, why does that not sound right? They're going to probably drift back over to this hive, and that's okay. I want to keep this hive strongest because they're going to be raising a queen. All right, more resources. We made it come back to that. Okay, this could be a really good frame to give them because it has lots of capped brood worker cells and larvae, which will be capped soon. I'm going to keep this in here for now just to help it stay warm so we don't get chilled brood. It's warm today, but you know, I mean, don't want to take a chance. I want to make sure that I keep this hive strong because they are going to be raising a new queen. And even with this split, you know, they could still swarm. If it prevents them from swarming, I still have to keep a really close eye on both of the hives because it may not work out with them raising a queen. She may never come back from her mating flight, or they take a few mating flights, but she may not make it back. And you know, I may go through this whole hive and never find my queen because they've already swarmed. But I mean, there just seems to be way too many bees, in my unprofessional opinion, for them to have already swarmed. All right. I may just stop talking and focus and try to find my queen and then speed past all this. Okay, this is going to go over here because it has lots of resources and lots of pollen. Nectar and pollen, they're both resources. Okay, so that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that was 3. So this one right here is the one that has the queen cells. Okay, I stopped videoing because it was taking me forever to find my queen and I was starting to freak out, and I wish I would have had it going when I just now found her. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Can't do a split without your queen. I would really like to put her in a clip for safekeeping. Oh my goodness. Look at that girl. Hooey. Oh. Okay. I was really, really starting to freak out because I wasn't going to be able to do this without her. Okay. We're going to slide her just right there. There's my queen. I need her over in this one. All right. So I have my queen. I have a frame that's almost entirely drawn out with nectar and pollen. Let me think. We need brood in the middle. We want this to stay strong. Dang it, the smoker. Okay, so need to confirm which one has the queen cells because it has to stay here. This is not. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this one has the swarm cells. It does. So we are going to put that one here in the middle. We're going to keep it at the 5 position. Now I need some good frame of brood for that one. This one has capped brood. This does have quite a bit of capped brood. This might be of worker cells. We might go with number 6 frame. This one feels heavy, probably has more resources. Okay, this has a lot of larvae. But I want to keep this hive strong. So it's a fine line. Let's see. All right, this has a lot. Watch out, ma'am. Gotta keep this one strong. Okay, I need to just pick one probably. We're gonna go with the frame. I think it was this one. It had more capped brood, and I think that's probably the best option. It also has pollen, and they need the resources over there. So we're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna make a decision and go with it. Yeah. So we're gonna put this one over here. And then we are going to put my queen right here. Yep, there's your queen. Will that fit there? I'm gonna have to put her here. I'm going to give them this one. Does it have eggs? It has more larvae. We're gonna leave it over here because they need, we're gonna keep it simple over here. I'm overthinking this. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, their queen's for sure there because they are right there. We're gonna do an empty frame here. Slide this over and do an empty frame here. Okay. We're gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna do the follower board and just put some frames over here. I think that'll hold 3. Just in case they get crazy and get over here, but I'm gonna put an entrance reducer. But they can still go under the follower board. So I want something in there to so they can't just start putting crazy stuff in there if they get over there. Okay, that should be good to go. So now I just need to scoot these in together. I'm going to try to do what I saw David Burns do, where he puts the bump, the sideboards of your frame up against, put the edge of the one that you're putting in up against the one that you're going up against. And then it kind of pushes the bees down where you don't squish the bees. Okay. There aren't too many over here. Make sure this should, I think if I'm counting right, this should be the swarm cells. Yes, they are. All right. Yeah, such a baby. Dang it. I got stung if you couldn't tell. Smoke the sting so that they can't smell the pheromones from the sting. Scraped out the stinger. Touche, girls. Touche. I guess with that being said, probably smoke them too. Probably went too long between giving them a little smoke. Well, I guess I couldn't go forever. while beekeeping and not get stung. So, oh well. It was a nice streak while it lasted. All right. Trying to go slow and steady and still got me. Oh well. All right. All right, girls, you got a queen to raise. You ready? We'll see. All right, we need to go that way a little so I can get another frame over here. All right. Let me put these in here. Oh shoot, got a few ants. All right, so I'm gonna put this back together. Get one more ant because it's on the ground and it's got a little sugar syrup on it. Okay, I think that's gonna be helpful having them back together. They can calm down and raise their queen. Now, I'm gonna put this feed back in here. Dang it, I always forget to put this stupid small hive beetle trap back in there. Oh my goodness. How many times am I gonna forget that? Okay, so it's so much calmer now that I have this one put back together. I am going to put an entrance reducer on here since they're going to be a little smaller. That way they maybe. Okay, I'm going to come back to that one. Since they're going to be a little smaller, that way they can defend the hive a little better. I definitely want two over here because they are small. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can't see that. I just moved it over this way just a little bit. Do I still see my queen? I see my queen. Here you go, ma'am. You're gonna go in there. There you go. Go down in there. There she goes. Okay, get in there, ma'ams. So now I can feed them. And put this back on there. And I'm gonna have to mix up some feed. But I'm not gonna put it on there yet because they have quite a few resources in there that they can use and then empty out some cells for Miss Queenie to lay in. All right, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this impromptu video and impromptu walkaway split. I'm sure it was a little chaotic, but I'm so glad that I found my queen. The one time that I need to find my queen, I wasn't finding her, and then I had to just take a deep breath, kind of step away, say a little prayer, and then go back to it. And shortly after that, I found her. I'm so relieved because I couldn't have done the split without finding my queen. So this white hive has our queen, which is our swarm, and this pink one has the queen cells. So as of now, I have 2 hives, and I will be closely monitoring them to see how they're doing, and I will take you along the way. So if that sounds good to you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out Brittany's Botanical Bling for my handmade items and indoor plants. This beekeeping veil is one of the items, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.